The goal of this tutorial is to help you get started with making interfaces in Matlab. This is fairly easy. The only thing you have to do is go to the command window, like here, and type in guide. And my task today is to be your guide in the guide. So then you press enter, and there's a window that pops out where you can do multiple things. You can open all GUI or create a new one. We're gonna just start with a blank GUI as here, and you press OK. When you do this, there's a new interfaces that comes to you. So this is the interface designer provided by Guide. Well, basically it's a mesh where you can drag objects with your mouse, like this push button. So you select this push button and you drag and drop in the middle of your interface. You can resize it, you can change the size of the overall interface and position things wherever you want. There's a number of objects that are available to you. I'll let you discover this, but there's an edit text, so it's a text in which a user can change the text, some checkboxes, or a menu, this sort of things. Once you have created the look of your interface, the thing you want to do is basically change the code that is being executed when the user presses, for instance, the push button. Now, to do this, the first thing you need to do is save the fig file. So the fig file is the file that stores all the objects. Well, you just go to the save button, and there's a menu that tells you where to save the fig file. So you do that here. I'm going to keep the standard title here. And when you do this, so you have a fig file, here is on the left, and a name file editor on the right. So both of these are brothers, so they talk to each other all the time. So if you change something in the interface fig file, it will automatically adjust what needs to be adjusted in the M file. The M file created by Guide is a little bit complicated at the beginning, but once you get to understand what's going on, it's fairly easy. So it's made of several functions. The main one is entitled free in this example. You probably don't need to edit that function as stated here. So it's a function that is being executed when you launch the interface. There's a couple of built-in functions that are always there. The opening function that is executed when you start the GUI. There's this output function that determines what is being sent back to the calling function. And after these are all the functions that are executed when the user interacts with, for instance, the buttons. The push button here is called push button. So as you can see here, there's a function called push button 1. So it's a callback. To understand what's going on here, you need to go to the properties of this button in the fig file. So just go here and double click the push button. Now you have an inspector that comes with all the properties of this particular object. There are a number of fields. You can basically edit the look and feel of whatever you need to change for this button, for instance. I'll guess the first obvious one that you want to look at is the string property that controls the text that is being displayed on the push button. So you can change this to whatever you want to write in there. I think the second property that is interesting for you is the tag property. So the tag property determines the name of the callback that is going to be assigned to this object. So if you change push button to hello function and you click enter, this tag is being updated, and if you save the interface fig file, you ask guide to update the M file on the right by using the new properties that you just set for this push button. And if you look around, you'll see that the push button 1 callback has been updated to hello function callback. So the tag properties is probably the one that you're going to use a lot when you play with interfaces, just to get access to the underlying property. Now that you know that this function is being executed by this push button, you might want to put some code in there. We'll start with something very simple, but basically you can type in any code you want. It's going to be executed when the user presses the button at this moment. So you save this. So I saved the code file associated with the interface, and now basically you will want to see this program in action. So you can either run the M file or run the fig file from the guide. It will do the same. So let's start with running using guide. And there you see that the interface has been created. Now it's up to the user to interact with this. It can click on the button, and you see that the code that we wrote in this callback is being executed as expected.